Hi, it's Max, and if I sound a little more amped up than usual, it's because this is the second time I've had to film this stupid audio. Besides that, though, I have a few updates before we get started. Hi, hello, my name is Max, and if you're new here, I am an art channel, and I just do silly, fun little art things. I have some updates. First of all, thank you for almost 3,000 of you. That's so crazy. You guys are all so sweet in my comments, and I love you guys so much. I feel like I have like such a nice community, and it's really great. Second of all, I made new PNGs. I think they're really cute, and I really like how they came out, and I feel like they're a lot more expressive than the other ones. I might add more as I go along, but who knows? I'm just testing these out for now. Also, I got an official Instagram. I'll put it up on screen now. And if you guys are interested in following, go for it. I'm gonna have a lot more Instagram exclusive content over there where it's just like finished illustrations that I'm gonna set over there. So if you're interested in that, go for it. I might eventually make that where I put like commissions and stuff like that. So just throwing out ideas. Okay, so that's all the updates I have for right now. So let's move on to what this video is about. This video is actually all about you guys, and it is your guys' favorite fandoms. So a while ago I made a community post, and I'll put up the responses on screen right now, about what are your favorite fandoms right now. And if you're interested, I'm gonna go back and look at that community post again, and I'm hoping to make like a part 2 to this video, so if you're interested, go respond to that, and I'll probably have your fandom featured in the next video, okay? But basically what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna take my favorite characters, or the most interesting characters that I saw while looking up the fandom, and I'm gonna draw them, and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I found out that the fandom or like the piece of media is about, and then we're just gonna go on from there, okay? Okay. So we're actually gonna start off with something that I'm quite familiar with, which is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. And I used to like be really into this anime. I never read the mangas, but I got so deeply invested in the anime, and I love like all the characters, and the designs was always like so eye-catching, and honestly it's just like beautiful overall, like from an artistic standpoint. And I've heard that the manga is way better, so I would recommend you go and look at the source material. But let's move on to what it's about. So basically, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is about this young girl. Her name is Nene. Also, I might not be able to pronounce all the names correctly because I don't know Japanese. It is what it is. And she wants to like get the attention of this guy. I don't remember his name, and I don't care because I remembered I really didn't like him, so he is irrelevant in my mind. But Nene goes on to find this like ghost that haunts the girl's bathroom that nobody really goes in anymore, and she finds Hanako-kun, and he's the one that's supposed to grant like wishes and stuff or whatever. And it's like kind of one of those like wacky hijinks type of animes, but it has like such good underlying storytelling, and it really allows you to grasp onto the characters, and you meet like the other 7 wonders and stuff like that, because Hanako-kun is one of the 7 wonders, sorry. It's just about like ghosts and stuff like that, but it's honestly really interesting, and I would recommend you go look for it yourself because it's just top notch in my opinion. For this piece, I wanted it to be conceptually different from what I usually do, and so I did an underpainting layer that I'm not really used to, you know what I mean? So for what I do for my coloring usually is I'll pick out colors at random, and then I'll overlay and color on top so it looks cohesive, and it's basically my way of faking color theory. But using this underpainting, I decided to do the opposite and really try to hone in my skills on color theory, which are very lacking, but it ended up looking so good, and I'm so happy with it. And I think the only real struggle that I had with this piece is trying to make it look too much like the source material and not enough like my art, because I did want it to slightly look like the source material, because obviously I need it to be like recognizable, but I didn't want it to look so much like the source material that I was like tracing. But after a while, I eventually got the hang of it, and now I really like this piece, and I'm going to use the underpainting thing in the rest of these pieces because I just love how it came out so much. Speaking of the rest of these pieces, let's move on, okay? So the next one that I decided to do was Dead Plate, Now, my choices may seem kind of biased because I also like this game. I've never played it, but I watched so many gameplays and I got really invested in the storyline, so, you know, it's not my fault that my subscribers just happen to be the exact same person as me, because I'm so awesome and cool and everybody wants to be me, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just this game is so interesting conceptually, and I always like the symbolism of, how do I say this in a YouTube friendly way, chowing down on somebody for the reason being of love, if that makes sense. I see a lot of it in literature and it's just really interesting because it's just so, like, I feel like it's so much more impactful to show obsessive love in that way. But anyways, in this game you play as Rhodey, the guy on the left, as a waiter at this new restaurant. It's like a bistro, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and the head chef is Vince, the guy on the right, and Vince is like a little intimidating, a little spooky. I don't want to say too much without spoiling it, but he isn't very ethical with the way he cooks, if that makes sense. And it's just like you progress throughout the storyline and you find out more about him and then like more about the bistro, while also having a side plot with Rhodey and his girlfriend. It's very interesting, and I would definitely recommend going and playing the game, or at least watching gameplays of it like I did, to get a better grasp on it, because I don't want to give too much away. But I would be so willing to do like a deep dive on any of these topics, like all of the ones that I talk about in this video, like how I did mouthwashing. It's so much fun for me. Regardless though, I really like how this piece came out, and I think the work that I put into it was really interesting with the contrasting colors. But let's move on to Madoka Magica, I think it's called. Let me double check. Yes, okay, so it is Madoka Magica, at least from what I saw online, because I looked up how to pronounce it. But there was a lot of like discourse on how it's supposed to properly be pronounced, but I'm gonna call it Madoka Magica, okay? Okay, so from what I gathered, I'm currently drawing the main character Madoka, and it is like a magical girl, Sailor Moon-esque type vibe, but with like a darker twist or undertone to it. At least that's what I saw from looking at it. Also, apparently there's love in there somewhere. It's like toxic Yuri or something like that. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. This is just what I gathered from researching, but it seems like a pretty interesting watch. I think I'm gonna like sit down and watch it for myself because I want to now. But from what I saw, just to summarize it, it's a magical girl anime with darker undertones and toxic Yuri. That's what I think it is. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But I really like doing this piece because I like drawing ruffles a lot, and her dress just has so many of them, and it was so fun. I think the part that I liked most about this piece was her clothes, to be completely honest, because there was just so much to work with and like so much I could do with the shape. I loved it. And I don't know, I never do pink that much. Like, I'd never put pink that much in my artwork, and I really liked that this piece was completely pink. It was just so interesting, and I got to try a lot of new things. And I think that's where I'm gonna end it. I had a lot of fun doing all these pieces. I'll put all the finished products on screen. If you have any other fandoms or pieces of media that you want me to draw, just answer my community post or type it in the comments. If there's anything that you want to tell me in the comments, go for it. I love talking to you guys. I see every single one of them. And don't forget, if you have the chance, follow my Instagram, and have a great day. Love you guys. Bye-bye.